Elijah, is Mark on there but not on there?
Fans, you are now live with the IAL, your weekly update on everything happening in the International Arena League. This week, we've got big news to cover. We're talking about our upcoming league press conference happening this January, a major milestone as we get closer to kickoff in April 2026. Plus, we've got Cincinnati Slingers GM, Adrian Ross, joining us to break down what's happening in the Queen City and how he's building a culture of grit and determination. And we've got a special guest you don't want to miss. Let's dive in. What other coaches will Coach Hollywood duel against? Who will be the final team to join the league? The season kicks off April 2026. We couldn't be more ready.
Hey everyone, welcome to Live with the IAL. I'm Corrine Lewis, Director of Fan Experience, and with me today is our Commissioner, Dan Lust, and our GM for the Cincinnati Slingers, Adrian Ross. Hey guys.
What's up, Corrine?
Hello,
how's it going? Everybody's good? Everybody survived the new year?
We're surviving the cold here. I'm not sure where the cold is, if it's worse where I am in New York or where Adrian is, but it's a competition. It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure New York has us all beat.
It's in the 40s today in Chicago, so I'm doing good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I got it. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all bask in that nice cold.
I love it. So I heard that both of you did some traveling this New Year's Eve holiday. Dan, I was told that you had a little extra extended layover on your vacation.
I feel like this is a Tom Mitchell joke that he hasn't filled me in on. I knew that was happening because I didn't go anywhere. And Adrian, just know, if you ever, we went to Vermont. We did some skiing before we came back. It's all good. We were in the cold in New York, and we decided to get colder in Vermont because that's what we do. But yeah, just know that if you hang out with Tom long enough, he'll find a random joke and he'll just keep making it, and he'll hit you from all angles all the time.
And I'm the guilty party.
One time they throw an arena of football, it goes into the crowd, and I'm one of 10 people getting it. And if I don't secure that fumble, I have bad hands. I don't know. There's
Right.
Rabid people.
So funny. And Adrian, did you make it to Orlando and all the good stuff?
Yes, I did. It's been, being from California and going down several times to Disneyland. I had never been to Disney World. And I guess I'm way outdated now on how you got to go to these theme parks now with you go to 4 different parks and you need this pass and you need the lightning pass. I didn't know there was 4-hour lines these days.
Oh, the Magic Kingdom does not play. It's serious stuff.
Yeah, the Magic Kingdom is very magic on the pocketbooks there.
I know.
I heard some crazy stat that it's cheaper to go to like the Disney World like overseas, just because they price gouge you in Orlando. Like the travel's cheaper, but the in the park is the most expensive in the world.
That would make sense. I would I actually talked to someone there and they said that I guess it's in Paris or it's in France, somewhere in France. I think
so.
There's one in Japan.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, I guess I heard the one in Japan is crazy.
It's cheap in the park, like the actual prices of merchandise and it's all. Yeah, I don't know, but that they say that one's the cheapest, and they say somehow with the flights plus the price in the park, it's actually cheaper than going to Orlando. Which
wow. Well, hey, that's going to be my next stop.
Why not?
Hey,
Why
Dan,
not?
can you get a team in Japan?
Do I have the authority to say that?
I mean, why not?
To be determined. But sure, why not?
I love it. So, hey, Adrian, you got a major signing this week or in the last couple of days. And Tom said that he would love for you to make an announcement on who that signing is.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make that announcement. Or
the head guy under you? Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and release that now.
We are,
You
according
know,
to our COO.
we're gonna let the Queen City know. We're gonna let the Slinger Nation, Cincinnati, know what we've done over there. All right.
That's what
Here
he's
we
telling
go.
me.
Breaking news. Then we have hired a head coach over there, and the great Sean King. Sean King has been hired as the Cincinnati Slingers head coach. So we're off and running, and very, very pleased to have him. Definitely a veteran of arena football, and the league couldn't be more excited to have a guy like that to come on board.
Yeah, he's a real class act. He's a great guy.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of conversations. Excited to get going. I guess we've been getting going. We want to know when the news, and so we broke it here.
Well, this is how Tom does it.
Right.
I'm only laughing because I could tell in real time that you weren't sure if we were asking you to do the thing.
Right.
That's how it happens.
That's it. That's it.
From Orlando to head coaches. Why not?
Sean's a great guy. I had a number of conversations with Sean over the last couple weeks, so I'm happy we finally got him inked up. But yeah, Cincinnati is taking shape, and now we got to lock up some names for the rest of the markets. But yeah, Cincinnati we think is going to be a tremendous success, and so far we've got some great people that are running the squad there.
I love that. So Adrian, I know also, Dan and I have talked about you, Hollywood and I've talked about you, as is Elijah and Braden. We've all been talking about you. But why don't you let our viewers hear from you how things are going out there in Cincinnati? Are things different than when you were playing for the Bengals? Like, how's the city look? How's the vibe?
Oh yeah, I think time has done Cincinnati well. Especially where we will be playing right there at Heritage Bank. There's a lot in that riverbank area that has been built up. It's very exciting for me because I was always out there wanting to see all of what they have now. And I was there for the new stadium to open up, but I wasn't there for any of the other things out that way. And yeah, the city is looking really nice and festive right there in that area. So it's I'm really excited to see what we're gonna be doing in Cincinnati, and just like how you're asking is in terms of the optics. It's just an unbelievable place for sports, a lot of places to eat and drink. So I'm really excited for this season.
That's good. How about you, Dan? What you think about
excited for the season?
What's that?
What was the question?
Oh, just asking what you think about Cincinnati and all the things that Adrian and Tom put together quickly.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Tom and I speak every day. We speak more and more as the days and weeks progress. Tom, I quickly identified Adrian, and then the two things kind of came together. Sean had reached out separately, and we're trying to match personalities and markets. And I know Tom has put a pretty heavy emphasis on Cincinnati among our many markets. So this is our first announced GM and coaching pairing of all of our IAL teams, done with a purpose. But yeah, Adrian, we're ecstatic to have you on board, excited to have Sean on board. I think it speaks for itself. I think both of your credentials are very clear. So I'm certainly happy to have you on board. I like that you said Slinger Nation. We're going to have to trademark that. We're going to do big things here.
Yeah, I mean, I was out there going around town, and I've been around and hitting up fans. I'm seeing a lot of fans that are in the hockey. They're in that arena, and so I'm hitting them up, making sure that they've heard about it, and they're like, "Yeah," and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna check y'all out and all that. So it's been great, and I like going on both sides of the river. I'm a both sides of the river guy. So I go over to Kentucky, and I'm in Ohio. So, I even go up to Indiana. So I hit the tri-state area up pretty good.
That's good. That's good.
I've never heard it's funny that you called Listen, I'm a New Yorker. We call the tri-state area, our tri-state area. That makes sense that there are other tri-state areas that's not immune to the Northeast.
Yeah.
Listen, you learned something new. I don't think I'm coming off the best in the Zoom that I didn't know what the tri-state area was, but it's what it is.
I didn't know either. I didn't know either.
Thank you, Corinne.
I mean,
and we have some.
I know that I live in Chicagoland. I know that now that I'm a new Chicago person. It's called Chicagoland. Because
we have our
what's crazy about here is that it doesn't matter where in the vicinity you live. It's Chicago, even though I learned there's neighborhoods, right? So there's Orland Park, Lincoln Park, Hyde Park. There's all these names, but it's still Chicago. But there's like 50 different neighborhoods that make up. Maybe there's 1,000 different neighborhoods. I don't know. I'm learning, Dan.
Fortunately, I was going to say our friends in Europe that have joined us in the chat, they have no idea what we're talking about. There's definitely not lands and state areas, but you guys will learn.
Well, here's something for, being that she's talking about that and where both of y'all are at. I had, a teammate, Devon Hawkins at Colorado State. He was from the Chicago area, I think Quincy, Illinois, and he was talking about the L's. The L's is have you used and heard that as the train? Yes. And then for Dan, what's the train? Is there a name for the train system in the New York area? Because, California and Texas, we don't have trains and stuff. So.
But, I knew when you were, yes, I'm familiar with the IAL. I spent the summer in Chicago working for a baseball agency once upon a time, but yes, the Chicago subways are above ground and the New York subways are below ground. Some of them end up top, but by and large, they're not as dirty and filthy as it makes it seem in movies. Like they're pretty clean, but the movies make it seem like it's no bueno.
Definitely does.
Is there somebody in the chat asking a question because I can't see it?
Yes. Michael Burmeister is asking when we're holding tryouts.
Oh.
Good question. So I'll take this. So we're going to each market is going to be able to have their own discretion as to whether they'll hold open tryouts. I see Michael has another comment about player announcements. We have had a number of players signed. We are taking our time making those announcements. I think we announced Arvell on the show a couple weeks back. There's a number of players signed. I see the contracts come in. Adrian, you and I will talk offline. Like we have a number of players that have signed that have not been assigned to a particular market. So in fairness, we're waiting to announce all of our coaches in our domestic market, overseas, and we'll let everybody take a look at these players. But, the players that have reached out that we've had an interest in, our friend Corinne, RJ, has been reaching out and trying to keep those seats warm as we figure out where the players will be allocated. But by all means, we have players signed. We're trying to, you got to trust us on the marketing piece. But Michael, to the extent you are asking because you want to play for the league, and I see your picture, you look like not a small individual, maybe an individual that could play on the O-line, possibly. You can find our general inbox on the website. We see everything that comes in. So to the extent you have playing tape, and whether you're Michael or somebody else, you have real game film, you have real statistics. We're certainly looking at everybody, and obviously some people are not going to be a fit. We got an entry from someone that was like 50 years old that had never played organized football. That guy's probably not going to be in the league, but everyone is feel free to submit, and we'll take everybody under consideration.
So, hey guys, I have a quick announcement to make, if that's okay. And Dan, please elaborate after this announcement, if you can. Guys, on January 15th, we are going to have press conferences for each team in the IAL. And so we're going to hear, all the good information, get caught up to speed, hear what everyone has to say. Dan, what do you think about each press conference? What can we expect?
I can speak. I'm trying to think how it's always fun having these conversations. I know a lot, and I'm not sure what I'm allowed to divulge.
Right.
But I will say on the 15th, I'm excited for the outside world to learn more about our signing. So Adrian announced Sean King today. Before the Zoom, after the Zoom, I have a number of phone calls to make with other, we'll say, narrowed candidates that we've narrowed down for a handful of coaching positions that remain open. So, we anticipate making some more signings. We'll say formal signings, that maybe we have verbal commitments, but we have to reduce pen to paper. So, I'm not sure the exact number of announcements we're going to make on the 15th, but rest assured, this will be our first big wave of announcements in one day. Unless, Corinne, we go on the Zoom and we spoil some more announcements, then all bets are off.
We've been known to do this, Dan. We've been known to do this.
Occasionally,
let's ask it. This is the part where the fans get to ask you a couple questions. I want to do that real quick, and then, hey, Adrian and Dan, we're going to bring on our special guest, and I am beyond excited about this guest. So, Dan, the first question is from Justice, and he asked, "What's the biggest rule difference in arena football?"
Good question. When you give me a name like Justice, I think it's Tom playing a joke on me that it's legal justice. And
it's not. It's not. We're real guys.
Yeah, I'll say this. I don't want to divulge too much on the rules, but I feel comfortable in saying I know what the call of the question is. You want to see what makes our league different from previous leagues, and I think, and Adrian can speak to this, is maybe one of the reasons Adrian signed on and why we're not worried about signing players. The amount of compensation going to our players is exponentially higher than is traditionally paid in arena league. So we can tell you about the rules and whatnot. The rules are still being shaped by the coaches that we're bringing on. We have a framework of the rules in place, but I'm hesitant to tell you what's different from old and new. We have a number of different voices in the room, and obviously we'll release the rules in advance of the season. All the players and coaches and reps, replay officials, they'll be understanding of what the rules are, but what has been inked, so to speak, are the value of the player contracts. So without me divulging anything, and it's not like by $1 more or $2 more, it's significantly, we'll say exponentially more than normally is paid to arena football players. So I know that, Justice, that's not exactly what you're asking for, but without me getting in trouble on the home front, I can tell you that one has been set in stone. We don't feel we'll have an issue attracting players with our compensation rates.
Very cool.
That, and then, as well for you, Corinne, in terms of the fan experience, it's there's going to be a lot of hands-on, up close, obviously that's been in other leagues past, but just a different level of production that's going to be put on for the games and the fan experience that they're going to be able to experience.
Absolutely. For those traditional, football fans that are used to being so far removed, right? They're in the stadium. They don't get to be up close and personal. I think Hollywood said at one point a fan actually brought him a hot dog on the sideline, like at the wall, the type of interaction the fans get to have compared to traditional football, which, like you, Adrian, that's what I've been involved in, my whole life. It's going to be really exciting and new, I think, for traditional football fans to experience arena in this way. So, okay, listen, Dan, one more question. This is kind of a negative question, but this is it. Darren asked, "I've seen arena leagues come and go. What's going to make this league last?"
Who's picking these questions?
These are questions that we all get them. So
the first time we did this, there was a let's say our friend Tom disguised himself as a question. So all bets are off if these are real.
I promise.
It's okay. It's fine. So I'll. The question is why will this arena league succeed when others have not? Tom's gonna like my answer to this. You ready for this, Corinne?
I'm ready.
The main people associated with those leagues that have failed are not associated with this league. I think that's the easiest way to say it.
I love that answer.
Yeah, I listen, we speak to coaches, we speak to venues, we speak to all sorts of people. That's I think a fair question. I don't think it's a negative question. I think it's very fair. But all we can say is that yes, if Tom had started a league 5 years ago and that league failed, and then he started a league again and that league failed, and now we're doing it for a third time, like I don't know really, you wouldn't believe us that the league is different, but the ownership of those previous leagues is just different. They've want to do things differently, as I've alluded to and I've revealed. They're paying their players less, and I think this was going to say something like, well, put it this way. I think the league has more. We're a real league. We function as a league. We are not a series of collection of teams that don't have one common nucleus. And that is the common trend of these previous leagues. One team fails, two teams fail, and then you lose kind of fan trust. You don't have a full schedule. So, listen, if we came here and we guaranteed that we'd be in a league that operated for 50 years and, no one would believe us. But what we can tell you is that we know how these leagues have failed in the past. And we're committed not to let it happen again.
Absolutely.
That wasn't a negative question. I've been hit with much more negative questions.
Yeah, I think sometimes you get the raw end of the stick because you're the commissioner, and Hollywood gets the fun questions because he's a coach.
I can handle it.
I know you can.
Dan can handle it. Dan got the answers for you.
Right? So listen, hey guys, it's time to bring on our special guest. So why don't we roll the clip?
NFL record 123 receptions this year because Taylor is 6'3", and as you see, McMillian, he's short, 5'7", but he is some kind of a leaper. Got a hand in there and caused the drop.
Fake to Sanders. All right, now it's time to bring on our special guest. He's a former Alabama standout who took his game to the NFL, earning the nickname Mighty Mouse for his explosive play and larger-than-life personality. A defensive back who proved that heart, skill, and determination beat size every single time. He worked his way up and left his mark on the game. Please welcome Mark McMillian. Let's talk football.
Hey, Mark. Are you there?
He's on mute.
You on mute, Mark?
We got the mute off, but we don't have the video on.
Are you there? Can you hear us, Mark?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can
Here he
hear
is.
I can hear you. So if you can figure out how to get the camera on, do it. If not, just talk loud for us. So listen, guys, Mark and I go back literally decades. He brought me on to his radio show, Heart Radio. Can you hear us, Mark? Hello?
I don't think Mark can hear us. Take a shot at this.
Director of video, maybe you can hear us. I'll shoot Mark a message. Let's see.
Now, Corinne, while you shoot Mark a message, the director of video, who for some reason now no longer has a name, is gone.
Elijah.
Okay.
Oh yes, I pump up Elijah all the time.
But I think we have to pump him down a little bit because we had someone come on with video, and who else do we blame but the director of video?
I mean, poor Elijah. One minute he gets a raise, the next minute he's got technical difficulties. So,
Corinne, every time I call you, I tell you I'm a straight shooter. The director of video has to be blamed when their video problems. That's all I have to say. I don't know who else. He gave himself that title, director of video. It is what it is.
So listen, while we're trying to figure this out with Mark, I'm going to talk about him since he's kind of there. So yeah, so Mark had a NFL radio show with Byron Evans called Hard Hitting Radio, and they brought me on after I retired from University of Oregon, and we go around to tailgaters and do live remotes and interview people, and it was so much fun. And then Mark was the head coach, usually for the East, I think. He coached the Blue Gray All-American games, and I was able to be the on-field reporter for those games. And Mark is just that guy. He's amazing. He's got a lot going on, but since I think they're trying to get him back. I'm going to tell you guys a little trivia about him real quick, just until we can see if he's going to make it. But some trivia. Let's see. Hang on. I had it here. Some trivia about Mark.
There he is.
There he is. Some trivia about Mark. Look, I'm talking about you, Mighty Mouse. Here we go. Is that Mark is a master chef. This is some trivia for both of you, Dan and Adrian. He has his own barbecue line and seasoning rubs, but having this line afforded Mark the opportunity to go to next level chef, and he was on team Gordon Ramsay.
What?
And they made it to what, Mark? Like you you were like deep into the episodes, maybe like 15. Is that about right?
Mark's on mute before he
Mark's
tells us
on
his lovely
mute.
answer.
Okay.
Oh, can y'all hear me now?
There we go. But the cool part about Mark being on Team Gordon Ramsay and being able to do this was this first episode aired right after the Super Bowl 57, where Kansas City was playing Philly. It was just really, really cool. And being that he played for Kansas City and Philly, that was just some trivia. Mark, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Trivia.
Okay.
Adrian and I didn't get to answer the trivia.
Well, it's not really trivia. It's more like what's it called? I don't know what to call it. It's just some trivia, some knowledge. It was really cool. Mark, what was it like out there with Gordon in London?
It was nerve-wracking. As you can think, most people see him on TV and he's screaming at people and he's cursing at people and he's telling you how terrible your food is. So, with my background of being, playing in front of tons of people, and then all of a sudden you're in front of one of the best chefs in the world was pretty intimidating.
Right. How could you equate that getting yelled at from your chef mentor compared to maybe one of your head coaches at Alabama or New Orleans, wherever you were playing?
I would say the good thing about Gordon in that show, it wasn't about cursing or putting anybody down, and he's actually a huge NFL fan. So that kind of worked into my favor, and I'm sure that's probably kind of a way that I got onto the show. Like you mentioned, the Chiefs and the Eagles, played in the Super Bowl, and when we did the interview for the show, it was a year before anything ever happened. So that was one of the questions. If the Eagles end up playing the Chiefs, who would I root for? And it was a perfect storm for them because I played for both of the teams, and then the Super Bowl was on Fox for the first time in a long time. So they hit it big on that one.
That was really fun. What do you guys think about that? Big A, can you cook?
I can do enough. I can do enough to make it, to happen. I eat pretty good. I eat pretty good over here. But when it comes to that level of it, that's a different level. I'm definitely not a master. I'm a master of some things. It wouldn't be the kitchen.
Right. Well, the one thing that I do know is that Dan, I think you probably can attest to this, that professional athletes are always encouraged to have something to do after their life in sports, right? And too many of them don't. The one thing that Mark did the entire time he was playing was not only did he develop football camps and opportunities, speaking engagements for young kids, he always kept thinking about the next phase of his life. And this is a testament to what he was able to do with his brand, Grillin' McMillian and all that. And I think that says a lot.
Definitely. And like post-playing career, if you can get on to a Gordon Ramsay show, I mean, yeah, there's probably people, Mark, that know you from that phase of your life that don't know you from football, which is incredibly impressive.
Right.
Yeah, because I do the Raiders pre and post game show now, and obviously I'm on the sideline before the game, and I'm on the radio. I do the ESPN radio as well. So people are calling me Grillin' McMillian more than Mark McMillian, the football player, which is pretty cool. That just means I'm all my hard work of paying off, with the brand and trying to get people to notice what I'm doing off the field.
Absolutely.
Man, you have another nickname, huh? Now I went from Mighty Mouse to Grillin' McMillian, huh?
I've got Big A and MM. You know how it is, right? So Mark, really quick, I'm just going to ask a couple questions and then let Dan, talk with you a little bit, about football, IAL, different things. But you grew up in Los Angeles and South Central, and you had a really inspirational story. Against all odds, you went to a JUCO, went to Alabama, and where you earned a starting position. Against all those odds, what did it take for you to do that, coming out of LA, and with your size always being a factor?
I would. Well, first of all, I gotta give it up to my man upstairs, my Lord, Jesus Savior, my Savior. Without him, none of that would have been possible. Too, sometimes, Korean, when we were doing sideline report, you were taller than me with your heels on.
I
So overcoming, the odds and, growing up in LA, man, it was either you make it or you're not. You can either go right or you can go left. And I chose the path to better myself, to get myself out of South Central and try to, live a better life for my family, for my mom. And, I was just thinking ahead, like, I don't want to be in the gang violence or the drug infested. I wanted to do something different and better with my life.
love that.
And where'd you go to JC at out there?
I went to Glendale Junior College in Glendale, California.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then you went like tell me about the JC path. I mean, like that's I had the path as a walk-on, but I left straight from high school to college, got an academic scholarship. But what was that like to have to grind at JC, then to get to another level, to get to the next level?
I didn't play tackle football until my senior year of high school. So I was still learning the game through the JUCO grind, and I was just out there just trying to learn, man. I wasn't beat up. I didn't know too much about the game. I was faster than everybody, so I knew they couldn't catch me or hit me. But just the process of just going through it every day, I really didn't look at it as like just junior college. That was just an opportunity for me to get better and hopefully get a scholarship and get a scholarship to go play at the next level, whether it be D2, D3, D1. I was never a guy who was just looking to play at the highest level. I just wanted to go out there and do the best I could and just see if I can actually play with these guys. And things turned out for the better for me. I got an opportunity to play at Alabama for 2 years. Started for 2 years there after 2 years in JUCO, and obviously the things just kind of took off from there.
And then how did you get to Bama? I mean, like, what was that process when they came and they recruited you? Who came, and what were your other choices of where you could have gone?
All the Pac-10 schools came running. USC, I grew up, like I said, growing up in LA, I was a USC fan big time. I used to go watch those guys practice all the time. So I just knew USC was going to come in and offer me a scholarship, but they were actually the last one. After Alabama threw the offer out there and I took the trip, that's when every school in the Pac-10 started coming out. The ACC, pretty much I had like 40-something offers after Alabama, but when I came home, I just knew that was the right fit for me. And I told my coach, I even got a trip. I've got an opportunity to go to Hawaii. They recruited me, and my coach told me, do not take the trip. He said, he's like, you're not going to go there. I was like, Coach, I've never been to Hawaii. I want to be able to put my feet in the sand. And he was like, but you'll be taking the opportunity away from another young man that's probably looking for that offer. So I didn't take my offer after Alabama. I canceled on Hawaii. So it was a trust me, it was a shocking experience coming from California down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And, some of the things that you see happening in the world today were happening back then. And, I went to an integrated school in California. So we were bused to all white school. So going to Alabama and seeing the world in a different eye, was definitely an eye opener for me.
Well, I'll ask a quick one. And I'm looking at your Football Reference, which is it's not a typical path, as Adrian's pointing out, like to go straight from JUCO to Bama. You could be a Diego Pavia and go from JUCO to Vanderbilt, which maybe makes more sense, but to go all the way to a blue blood is incredibly impressive. Now, I would think what might be equally impressive is that you're a 10th round pick that ends up playing 8 years in the league. Like that doesn't happen. Like we only have obviously 7 rounds in our draft now, and those guys generally 6th, 7th, 5th round picks, even some 4th round picks get cut. To make the team as a 10th rounder and to have such a long career, I'd love to hear about that. I mean, I'm sure you had to beat out a ton of guys for a spot, and then obviously to last. I mean, speaks a lot about you.
Yeah, and then obviously getting drafted to the Eagles. That year, the year I got drafted, the year before that, they had the number 1 defense across the board, and probably they compared their defense to I think it was the 85 Bears defense. So, walking in the locker room, you see Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Eric Allen, who just went into the Hall of Fame this year as well. So it was.
Did you go on mute?
I think we lost you, Mark.
I'm not here. Can y'all hear me?
He's back.
There you are. Now I hear you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
For my clothes, I brought my suitcase, and I walked in the locker room, and Reggie White made a joke. I didn't think it was funny. He said, "Who let this kid in our locker room?" And all the guys start laughing, but I didn't think it was funny. I was like, "Man, I'm here to play," and they were like, "I don't know why you brought all your clothes. You're not going to make the team." So that was another obstacle that I had to get over. And me and Reggie White, God rest his soul, we ended up being the best of friends, man. So being a 10th round pick, I was number 6 on the depth chart. And just worked my way up, man, on special teams. I was trying to hit everything that moved, learning everything from Eric Allen, what he did, his mannerism, the way he studied the game, and then eventually got my opportunity to play my first opportunity against the 49ers. And, of course, who I lined up against is Jerry Rice.
Oh, God.
I mean, that was when I learned of that team you went on, the Eagles. That was a team I played with on Madden. Y'all had the defense, and I mean, was it Jerome Brown up front?
Yeah.
Seth Joyner.
Yep.
That was a squad there. I used to run through everybody on that turf. And
I'm still waiting for my royalties, man, from that game. I ain't getting no royalties from it.
Right back then,
That's
and
why
then
you
y'all
need
would
a
put on
lawyer,
the
Mark.
black shoes.
Yes.
Tell me about the black cleats, like when y'all would come with the all black shoes.
We wore all black shoes at Alabama too. Nowadays guys are
Yeah,
changing
we know
their.
that old school stuff at Bama. We talking about.
Yeah. But it carried over to Philadelphia. It was just a look, man. It was just like everybody's united. It was almost like an intimidating factor, and we just went out there and try to punch people in the mouth as many times as we can. We didn't care about getting penalties. We didn't care about off the field stuff. We were just out there trying to knock dudes' heads off, and obviously playing with Reggie White and those guys, and Andre Waters, who they called Dirty Waters back in the day. And Wes Hopkins, I had 2 of the best safeties that made my job a lot easier.
Right. Speaking of hitting people in the mouth, tell me about Buddy Ryan. How was it with Buddy Ryan?
God rest his soul. One of the toughest coaches you can play for, but one of the most rewarding coaches you can play for. If you got it right, he was a defensive guy. So we had it made on the defensive side of the ball, but you had to crack in that lineup. You had to go out there and perform at your best because he wasn't going to put anybody out there, especially on his defense, to make anybody look bad.
Hey, Mark, I just have one more question, then I'm going to pass the rest of the show off to Dan. As the director of fan experience for the International Arena League, everything that we do is completely focused on our fans. And so you've played in front of every type of fan, right? As a professional athlete, how important are the fans to you? What do they mean to you?
They mean a lot. Without the fans, there is no excitement. There is no game. There's no home field advantage. And like I said, I was one of the kids that was sitting in the top row of the Coliseum, watching Marcus Allen run up and down the field and Charles White. So I know what it feels like to be a fan, to just want to be part of the game. And the fan experience is probably a huge part of any sporting event. And playing in front of 100,000 or 50,000, being able to have outreach to the fans and for them to be able to come into your world, because a lot of people dream about playing football or in the NBA, and for the fans to be able to actually experience that and touch the players, I think that's very important.
Thank you. Dan?
Speaking of technical difficulties, I think I found it. Okay. Can you guys see me?
I see you.
Okay, good. So, Mark, I guess it kind of brought it up a little bit. And we've done this Zoom a lot, and I think a player like with your portfolio and background, I think are well suited to answer this. For the players that are not the equivalent of a 10th round pick or a 7th round pick that makes the league, there are only a limited amount of options for players to continue to go pro, be it the CFL if they want to go overseas. I'd love to hear you speak to about maybe the value of an arena football league and taking advantage of these kind of off months, so to speak, to help a player who maybe didn't get drafted earlier or doesn't have a team really invest them for the start and kind of reinventing themselves and having teams get second looks at them through a new league like this?
I'm to be honest, I've loved arena football. Having a house here in Arizona. I don't want to say, I guess I don't want to say the team's name, but the Arizona team that was here, I was a big fan of that. And then obviously living in Vegas, big fan of that program that they have over there as well. I know a lot of the players, in the arena football league as well. So I'm very well connected and excited about what you guys got going on. And like I said, it's an opportunity for kids that don't get drafted or may get cut and want to stay around the game and kind of sharpen up their skills. There's a lot of kids all the time transferring, especially with this NIL. A lot of kids don't get picked up by these colleges, and sometimes their career is over. And now they're looking like, okay, I still want to play the game, I still want to be a part of it. And like I said, I still have my ears to the ground with the Arena Football League that's available now. And then obviously with you guys and what you guys have going on, hopefully I can bring some of that same energy and some of the young men that I still keep in contact with to the league.
Does that mean that you want to get involved in some formal way with our league? That was an interesting breadcrumb. I don't think I'm not listening.
Well, Corinne, man, that's my girl, man. We've been down a lot of roads together, and anything she's a part of, she's asked me, hey, would you like to be involved? And I know she's not going to be involved with anything that's going to be crooked or shady. So, I love the game of football. Like I said, I don't care if it's tackle, flag football, arena, NFL football. I'm just a football guy, and that's all I know. As far as I do know how to cook too, but I love the game of football.
I say that obviously, someone of your credentials would love to have involved and having those conversations. So to the extent you actually need it, I'm happy. I don't know if Corinne has the authority to offer you a role with the team, nor do I necessarily have the authority. But in the org chart, Corinne and I know the guy that knows the guy. So happy to have that conversation. We have people, in the chat that reach out and they say they want to be different roles to league. Someone with your background, and Adrian can speak to this as well, that has contacts to players in markets that we're interested in. That's our biggest asset, right? So, we need people like yourself, like Adrian, at a minimum, right? Friends with people in our league to help us get to where we need to be. But I guess I'll ask this, and Corinne, I don't have anywhere for this. You can take back the reins. And you mentioned it, right? In this world of NIL, and Corinne knows this, but I do a lot of NIL work. Last couple of days in the transfer portal. Would you say have been at this office very late at night because apparently contracts need to be signed at like 11:30 at night, or else they're going to go to a different school, which is totally normal. What do you think that this NIL craze will help leagues like this, or will it hurt kind of the leagues below the NFL? Do you think that's going to have an impact one way or the other?
I think it'll help because a lot of these kids that's going for the big money know they're not probably going to make it in the NFL, so their other option is going to be Canada or the Arena League. And you take the quarterback from UNLV, who I thought was an outstanding player. Now he's in the portal. I don't know if he signed yet, but he's going to go try to get as much money as he can because he knows that he's probably not going to play in the NFL. So a kid like that is still going to want to play. You take the kid probably from Vanderbilt. Will he probably get invited to camp? Yes, because he's Heisman runner-up, and but would he probably make an NFL roster? Probably not. And I think a kid like that will probably bring a lot of excitement to the league. He's probably going to demand a lot of money because that's just the kind of player he is. But he's going to bring a lot of eyes. He has a great fan base. He's got a great personality. I think suits the Arena League well. I don't think the personality that he has is going to fare well in the NFL because he's not Baker Mayfield, but he has that Baker Mayfield mentality.
So I'll say this, and it's okay if I don't have the authority to say that. If you can deliver Diego Pavia to the arena, the IAL, we'll get you a spot. We'll get you whatever spot you want, whatever made up title you want.
You can't have fan engagement though, Dan.
Listen, sometimes you need a bad boy in the league. Okay, sometimes you need the heel, you need the baby faces. Sometimes you just need to make it work.
Yeah. No, Mark is as classy as they come, just like Big A over here. And anyway, Mark or Adrian, I mean, do you have anything else to ask Mark? I just wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, man, to get the legend on right now, I'm defensive guy. I want to put him on the spot. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs defense. Who had the best pass rush?
Wow, that's a tough one, man. That's a real tough one. Like I said, I had
And
Reggie
then,
White,
first
Jerome
question.
Brown.
Second question, who had the better secondary?
Wow. You know what? I can't answer that because I don't want this to get out. I don't want some of my teammates to be like, "Yo, dog." But I would say we're 1 and 1A, but both teams were different. You got Derek Thomas, and then you got Reggie White in Philly. So I have Dirty Waters in Philly, and I have Dale Carter and James Hasty in Kansas City. So Neil Smith in Kansas City. So it's a tough one, man. But I got to go with the Eagles, man. They drafted me. They gave me the opportunity. Like I said, I'll go to war with those guys any day. And there's not too many guys that was built like Andre Waters or Wes Hopkins or Jerome Brown. So I would have to give the edge to the Eagles.
Wow, that's saying a lot there with big swinging the bat, Neil Smith and DT. Was that? Who else was there? I'm trying to, man, those are my squads. Because you guys went at 3-4, huh?
Yes.
Simeon. I'm trying to remember the name.
Yes. Simeon Rice was our middle linebacker. Donnie Edwards was our linebacker. Jerome Woods, Reggie Tongue was our safeties. So we have some dudes over there in Kansas City, man. But man, Seth Joyner on one side, Willem Thomas on the other side, and my man Byron Evans, B&E in the middle in Philadelphia, man. So I got to go with the Eagles, man. We have some real dogs, man.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Mark, we've done these Zooms a lot, and Corinne, you're not allowed to take offense on behalf of any of your friends. I'm sitting here, I'm like, Mark's really good at this. And I'm like, oh yeah, Mark's on the radio. Like Mark kind of,
Mark is a pro.
What are we doing? Yeah.
No, Mark gave me my very first shot, Dan, about how many years ago, 20 years ago?
About 20 years ago, hard hitting radio.
Yeah. I mean,
hard hitting radio.
That's where he pulled me from University of Oregon cheerleading to interviewing athletes. That is because of Mark McMillian. Cool. Yep. He's the best. Yep. All right, you guys. Well, if you don't have any more questions, Adrian or Dan?
Nah, I'm still thinking about that.
All right. Well, listen, Mark, I'm sure that we'll have more conversations and, on behalf of our viewers and listeners and fans in the International Arena League, we appreciate you so much. And thank you for enlightening us about your career and everything else.
All right. I appreciate you guys having me on and much success to the league that you guys have going. And like I said, I'm in Vegas, so let me know what I can do. If I got to go flip some burgers or toss some hot links on the grill for the players, man, I got to do what I got to do.
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
All right. No, he's so awesome. So, listen, to everybody out there, the first thing that we need you to do before we get off this live is make sure that you are following all of our social media pages on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Each team has its own social media and each team has its own website. The next thing we need you to do is go out and get those tickets, okay? And every Tuesday, we come to you at 4 p.m. Eastern with our commissioner, Dan Lust, and on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with our head coach, Coach Hollywood. And we'd love to have as much fan engagement, questions in the chat as possible. That's it for me. How about y'all?
Hey, that's it. We'll be seeing y'all next week. Press conference time.
Yeah.
We got some things to do.
Can I say one thing that's very important?
Yes.
It's not really important, but as a lawyer, we follow the legal news there was a very large lawsuit filed against McDonald's that the McRib was not real meat. So I'm warning everybody, if you had the McRib, go see a doctor immediately. Okay.
Oh,
No, it's all good. No, it's listen, I'm excited the league is progressing. We've got to keep it light here. As we've alluded to in these previous Zooms, if we're just coming here and we're just spitting out facts, we don't want to be the traditional arena football leagues.
yeah.
So yeah, we're here to have fun. Corinne, it's always a pleasure joining you. Adrian, great job. Welcome to the league. Sean, if you're listening, welcome, and looking forward to making more announcements in the coming days.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Thank y'all.